Hi everyone, it's Kim at Good Vibe Astrology, and today I'm talking about the transits of Venus. This is for call number 4 in the Transform with Transits course. So everybody join in and let's get started. First, I want to talk about the synodic cycles of Venus. Don't run away. It's not it's not scary or difficult. It's just super interesting. Synodic, it just means in the Latin, it translates into meeting place. And these cycles describe, a synodic cycle describes the orbit of a planet. With Venus, it gets really interesting. I'm going to show you this right away. Here, you're going to see, I'm just going to click start, and you're going to see what happens. Now, this is a heliocentric chart, so the sun is in the center of the solar system, not the Earth, as we see in our tropical zodiac and Western astrology charts that we use. Now, as I talk, you're going to notice that with each conjunction of Venus and Earth, you will find a pattern starts to unfold. When the two are conjunct and in alignment with the sun, it is during a retrograde period or cycle. These retrograde periods and conjunctions occur just about every 18 months. You're starting to notice that we get a pattern formed here, and it's the 5 pointed stars, the pentagram. And what's so interesting is that people didn't start talking about this pattern formed by the synodic cycle of the Earth and Venus until the 1980s, when we could start seeing it on computers. And it was actually astrologers that first pointed this out or popularized this notion. However, in ancient times, particularly in the ancient Celts, but in ancient civilizations, Venus is linked to the 5-pointed star. It was first recorded by the Sumerians at least 5000 BC. And then there seemed to have been this gap. And then 1980s, we get computers and we go, hey, look at this. It's pretty cool. All right, I can show you another example of what's actually happening here so you can see the retrograde cycles. Here, we're tracing now the synodic cycles with the Earth, Sun, and Venus. And I'll just let it play out so you can see what's actually formed. You can see here are the retrograde cycles where Venus appears to stop, turn around, and go backwards, happening once every 18 or 19 months. While this plays out, I'll just run through a few things that are significant for Venus in terms of what it represents. And remember, we talked about the moon being the primary planet of love. The moon is the primary planet of love when it comes to nurturing and giving and receiving nurturing. So the sign the moon's in has a lot to do with what feels like comfort, nurturing, sustenance to us, what sustains us. But Venus is more about our socially significant, personal, one-to-one relationships. It's about the sensuality of love and the connection of love. It rules our social urges, affection, beauty, values, what we appreciate, so it's our core values, art and aesthetics, attraction, cohesion. It rules melody and song. It rules love of luxury and love of sensuality. It rules 2 signs and 2 houses, Taurus and the 2nd house, which are earthy and the sensual, materialistic side of Venus. It's where we get Venus as money, Venus as sex. And also Libra and the 7th house, which is more the cultured and aesthetic, the core values, and the relational is an air sign. It's the relating component of Venus. All right, there's another thing very interesting about Venus that we don't see happening with the other planets, and I'll just pop up the astro clock. Oh, it's perfect because the sun's about set, so this is great. All right, what happens is periodically Venus will be either the morning star or the evening star. Right now, she's the morning star, and you can see how this works, because here's the sun about to set. But Venus is already set about an hour beforehand. That means as we dial forward, when the sun rises, Venus will already be up in the horizon. Let's say if Venus was up here where Mercury is, the sun would set, the sky would darken, and there would be Venus bright and brilliant in the sky. Right now we can see Mercury on the horizon because it's following the sun. So when Venus is leading the sun, she's the morning star. When she's following the sun, she's the evening star. All right. It's very interesting to track the retrograde cycles of Venus because they don't occur that often, and when they do, they really give us a chance to check in to our core values, especially in the area of life where Venus is going retrograde. Our last retrograde cycle was from the end of December to the end of January in 2014. And you can see here that on January 11th, the Sun and Venus were conjunct. And that is again, this part of the Synodic Cycle which creates that pentagram that we saw earlier. To look forward, we find the next retrograde period of Venus is going to be between 0 Virgo and back through Leo. Usually the retrograde is not more than 16 degrees that are involved in the retrograde cycle. The conjunction will be on August 16th, 2015. Okay, so something to look forward to in where that's going to fall in your chart. So plotting Venus where she is now in the chart for the call and for your homework, you might want to look at where Venus is now, what degrees. We've got her in Aries, just finishing up through Aries by the end of the month. She moves into Taurus. And see where that is highlighting in your chart, because this is an area of life where your sensuality comes to life and wakes up. Your values, your core values, are going to come to the foreground, and it's a great time to look at your personal, socially significant one-to-one relationships. Okay, that's it for today. We'll see you on the call.